Ready whenever you are.
Good evening. Thank you all very much for coming out to this beautiful clubhouse here at North Lake. I'd like to thank the staff of the clubhouse for opening up the door to me, letting me come out here. Don did it for 10 years, and when I became councilman, I asked Don, you think I could have the town hall meetings out here as well, or we stand inside the fire station with open Vegas in the middle of August? I'd like to go ahead and start out with invitation, Councilman Cox.
We'll bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for your love, your peace, your wisdom. Let that be reflected in our meeting tonight and in the civility that we show each other to reach us with the best ideas and the best information to move Coca forward overall. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Mr. John Sutter, our chief cop, is going to go ahead and lead the pledge of allegiance.
The United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before I have the staff introduce themselves,
Nice.
I'd like to go ahead and introduce you to our mayor, and stand up right here.
Greetings, my fellow Earthlings. How's everyone this Tuesday afternoon? Yay! It's great to be alive. I'm loving that shirt, yes, sir.
Our deputy mayor, Stone. And Councilman Boston.
Burns. Councilman Burns.
Our city manager is under the weather, so I'm going to have the staff introduce themselves and tell what departments they run. And then Anna Hurd, who's Sue comes in, I'll go ahead and introduce him.
Time out. Councilman Dow, can I ask a question real quick?
Yes.
Man, I haven't been in a chair this size since the third grade. If I break this chair, don't y'all laugh until I get up and we all laugh together. Here you go, man. I got it. Okay, thank you. Hey! Thank you. Thank you, sir. Got it. I'll fight for you one time, as always.
So, good evening, everybody. My name is Charlene Neuterman, and I am the interim director of community services. I oversee the planning and zoning department, the building department, housing and neighborhood services, our CRAs, and our economic development division.
My name is Brian Smith. I'm the Public Works Director and City Engineer. I oversee the fleet, facilities, grounds, streets, and stormwater divisions of the city.
My name is Samuel Bird. I'm the Deputy Fire Chief. Obviously, we oversee fire and rescue, but we are also your emergency management directors for the city of Coca.
And this is Amanda Hurd, with the city council seat 2.
Hi everyone, my name is Samantha Sanger and I'm the assistant to the city manager and public relations, public information officer for the city of Cocoa. And I'm going to pass the mic.
Hi, I'm Martha Arsenal. I'm the assistant city clerk.
Hello, Rocky. I'm the chief technology officer.
Y'all know what they say, the best for last. I'm Emmanuel Carter, report from the new police chief of the city of Cocoa.
Lieutenant Jeremy Otto is just the liaison.
Some of you know me, I was the ECOP coordinator before I was elected to office, non-tolerant, and when we put them on the white spot, that group before we done a wonderful job. We're going to start out with a little conversation from our public works, and we'll talk about some projects in White 524 and other important issues that are going on right now.
So I'm going to give you all kind of a brief update on State Road 524 as well as Clear Lake Road. So a lot of y'all know 524 is getting close to 524 is getting close to its traffic capacity. So the state's already kind of underwent the project development environment phase. That's the initial planning phase of the project to start determining what the new design and right-of-way construction is going to look like. That's scheduled for completion next fall, so fall of 22. From there, they'll have some preliminary estimates and designs. You all have probably seen some of the design alternatives at this point, and that'll kind of determine the next steps of the project. That planning phase is about a $1.7 million project, and it'll lead to the next part. So the next phase would be design, then right-of-way acquisition. So if they need to widen the right-of-way, that'd most likely be for stormwater ponds in this case, and then your construction phase. Those aren't funded right now. After the PD&E, that's where you start to see those numbers coming out. We've been working with DOT and Space Coast CPO as well. We're trying to figure out a way to streamline this as well. We've got a lot of development on the corridor and kind of want that to hit somewhere around the same time as the traffic is. With that, we've moved up Clear Lake with TPO. The widening around the corner, it really bottlenecks right there. And ideally, you do both projects at the same time because it's essentially the same corridor. Right now, that's in right-of-way acquisition. The project's been designed, but the right-of-way is unfunded through the state. So we're hoping with 524 and Clear Lake being combined, then that pushes the state to throw a little bit more money towards it. And we're going to keep working with TPO to try to push that. The other, I guess, big project in the area is the park improvement projects. So we've got the park improvement project at Junie Rios. So that's with the citywide common area improvements. We're going to update the signage, new benches, kind of things to make all of our city parks look similar, so you know you're in a Coca park. The other two amenities that are supposed to be added to the Junie Rios is the splash pad and pavilion. And so those are currently under design. We're getting close to 30% design on those, and hopefully we can move through that pretty quick through the design phase and hopefully construction coming up. The other area within this district is the Coca Conservation Area. So that's off of Range Road in Cocoa Bay. It's really back behind Integra and some of those new developments that are starting up on the south side of that. And that's a large kind of mixture of a wetland and forestry area. It's got some hiking trails right now that some volunteers have been kind of cutting through there. It's a pretty good amenity if you haven't been out there. And hopefully between some of those improvements and the Junie Rios, we'll see some overall improvements to the amenities for this district.
All right, so the news that everybody loves to hear, that's been going on for the last year and a half, is updates on the COVID pandemic. Currently, since March of last year, we've had 59,735 cases of COVID here in Brevard County. That's roughly 17.5% of our total population. Since the vaccines came out, and different people have different opinions on whether or not the vaccines work, which vaccines work, what their success rates are going to be, but we have had 332,032 people have been vaccinated since the vaccine started. Just this past week, we've had 7,335 people become vaccinated. That is from reports from the hospital, helping out in cases of people becoming significantly ill, even to the point of death from the COVID infection. Something that's near and dear to our heart on emergency services, if you notice my badge, has a black band on it. Melbourne suffered a line of duty death from a firefighter contracting COVID in the line of duty. The first one in the area. He'll be laid to rest this coming Saturday. So we do want everybody to take it serious. The hospitals want everybody to know that they're running at 100 to 120% capacity. All the hospitals in Brevard County are trying to work together with their resources to help each other out. They're seeing extremely long wait times in the emergency departments, to the point that ambulances coming into the emergency department are having to wait 3 to 4 hours before they can get their patients actually into the emergency department under care. Because of that, and our Councilman Hearn can attest to this, we have had to go onto a treat and release protocol, which means that when you call 911 and paramedics arrive at your home, depending on what's going on with you, we will do our best to treat you and release you back to your own care and not take you to the hospital. Because to go to the hospital, you're going to be waiting for hours upon hours before you can even get in the door. And it's just overtaxing the hospitals. So be patient with us as we all try to work through and manage this pandemic. A good piece of news that came out from the governor's office today is that for those who are infected with COVID, if you have not had a vaccine, or even if you have had a vaccine, but you become infected with COVID, one of the treatments is to give you antibodies so that your body can fight the infection. Brevard County has been one of the locations selected, specifically Merritt Island, for a monoclonal antibody clinic, which will be starting up at the Kiwanis Island Park on Merritt Island. It's located at 951 Kiwanis Island Park Road. They'll be seeing 300 patients per day, open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily, to receive the injection of the monoclonal antibodies. If you don't understand what that means, when you get a vaccine, the purpose of getting a vaccine is so your body can start to build antibodies to fight off an infection. If the vaccine didn't work that well for you, or you didn't get a vaccine and you become infected with the virus, they can directly put antibodies into your system so that your body immediately can start fighting off the infection. Okay? So that's something new coming to Brevard County. That's all I have at this time. Thank you very much.
Also, before we get started, since they're all here now, we'll let the council say hello to you all. We'll start with our mayor and Dwight.
Can you hear me? Yes. We don't need a microphone, right? Okay, very good. Well, good afternoon. And good evening. It is a pleasure to be amongst you all. The last time I've been in this edifice, it was a couple of years ago. Traditionally, I would come with the firefighters. Booyah, pancakes. I wonder why. You know, I spelled 318 pounds on a good day. I've had an opportunity to cook pancakes here for everyone at the facility here. I come to you as a humble servant. I'm happy to say a very, very humble servant. I teach 8th grade social studies at Coca High School. I'm running on my 3rd term at large. I do thank you all for your support and your prayers, and we ask that we work together as one proud, united body, because there's power in what? Numbers. And everyone in this room matters. And no, I'm not running for office, so I'm going to take a load off my feet and put it in the seat. It's a pleasure serving you as your mayor. So give yourself a round of applause.
It's always fun. I wish you would last. It's always fun. I really appreciate everyone for coming. It's really good to see so many people that really care about the city of Coca. And I'm very, very interested in all the questions and concerns that you have, so we can go back and make conscious decisions to better serve you. I wrote down a lot of things, so I know I'm gonna be ready for any questions. And you know, I really love you guys because my wife's birthday today, and I'm here with you. So if I can give you a place to stay tonight, it's good. We really appreciate you guys for being here, seriously. Represent your district. You have a great district representative, so we'll be here for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Really warms my heart to see everybody here tonight participating in our Coca, making it a better place. This is my first time being at Lost Lakes. I'm really quite impressed with your community center. It's very special. And I think that you're going to find what we have coming up in the next couple of years is pretty special. There's a lot of new building going on, as well as community assets we're building. And I look forward to working with you on that.
Good evening, everyone. Councilman Hearn, this is not my first time here. If you ever call 911, there's a chance that you probably saw me hopping out of the ambulance. So it's good to be here this evening with you all under better circumstances. I'm very eager to hear from you all. I'm super proud and humbled to be here with you all, and I love seeing the engagement. Thank you for allowing me here.
And it's really nice to be back here at the town hall meetings. Don did them 10 years straight, and hopefully my entire time I get to do them here as well. I noticed when you ride on 524, you see the new apartment complex, which is going to be, it's right in front of basically the conservation area, which is goes from 524 to Coca High School down Range Road. Also, eventually, it's going to be starting, the Winn-Dixie will be torn down, and there's going to be some upgrade apartments there. I don't know if anybody of you all drive down Crystal Road lately, but overnight, there's this huge building out there called Amazon. And you notice the signs for the Walmart, the freezer center with the big signs help along. And it's going to be like that all over the place. The jobs are coming. Amazon's going to hire 200. When we were doing the tour at the freezer center for Walmart, they're also distributing for the same warehouse also at the Walmart, so they're going to increase their size on that. I know you here's all talk, all of you guys got some questions and concerns. So when you ask a question, the department heads will step up and answer if they can, or if I can, or if there or somebody on the panel up here. Who's got the very first question?
My name's Bob Dow, 3815 Century Drive, Illinois. I'd like to speak to the person in charge of the stormwater drain. After Hurricane Francis went by, it dropped 18 inches of rain in 24 hours. The rain flooded our streets up to my garage door, and more water was coming out of the stormwater than was going in. My question is, Mr. Jake Williams, I looked down the street, he had water up to his knees, and everybody knows how tall he was. I've gone to council meetings and asked if there's any possible way to check the culverts coming from the lake behind Jamie Romo's park, make sure they're not clogged. The stormwater drain going from behind the park, going across 524, make sure those are cleaned out, and ask if there's a possibility that maybe they can clean out that drainage ditch It goes back to Mud Lake. And the first thing that came out of everybody's mind, oh, no, we can't do that, that's wetlands. We can't touch that. I don't know if anybody drove by there and see what they've done to it now. I don't know if they've extended the culverts to go back there, but they got it all piled up on top of it. I see big trucks rolling over on top of what they put down. Is it getting crushed? Is there gonna be a way of anybody inspecting that? Because I'm gonna have to look for somebody in my house as well. I do have flood insurance, but it ain't gonna cover the damage that what it's gonna do. Thank you, sir.
As far as the stormwater infrastructure in the neighborhood, we do periodic inspections through there. So we'll go back and look through the ditches as well. We typically start that probably in February, March, and try to go citywide to look at problem areas. So we'll come back through if we need to and look at that.
My main question is, why didn't they do something back 10 years ago, 15 years ago? One of the citizens is almost flooded out, and they wouldn't touch that drainage ditch on the south side of 524. Now you got this big gigantic property, you're gonna bring in, I don't know how many people, 400 units are gonna be there, so figure maybe 2 people per unit, 800 people. I don't know if money means more than what we get, but all of a sudden now, here we go, they got this all piled up like this. So now that you let them do that, but you wouldn't do it for the people of Coca North.
Yeah, I can't speak to what's happened in the past. I know we've had a pretty good focus in the past almost 2 years that I've been here on stormwater specifically, and made some pretty good improvements around the city. So we'll continue to look at that and work with DOT as well, since that's coming out of our right away.
I've lived in my house for 31 years. Watch that water come up my house. It's scary.
Can I address that?
Sure.
Brother Gallo, you know who I am. You and I go way back. Michael Blake. As you all know, the Brightline is coming in. We just took a tour of that area 7 months ago. And the Coca Coventry area along the 528 corridor area. And like I said, Mud Lake, Lake Diane. I'm a true original Cocoan, just like some of the people right here behind me. And we're addressing that concern right now, flooding. Because what had happened, sirs and ma'ams, 528, the runoff of that water would catch Coventry on the north side, the runoff of 524, which we are all familiar with, on the north side would catch. So Coventry was surrounded with water. Well, we are addressing that concern. Brightline has assured us that they are going to just be with me. Bear with me, please, sir. Yes, sir, we can only stand on what we stated. But trust me, they addressed that issue, and I believe in them. So we are going to continue to address that issue. And you're right, with the development on 524, sir, you're 100% correct. That's going to have an impact on the environment and the flow of the stormwater drain. Also, just the end of this month, well, the ending of July, I took my happy butt in that stormwater drain. It was along District 2, Councilman Hearn area. And I understand exactly what you're addressing and talking about, the flooding issue. So
You got 400 units going up there at 524 between the fire station and Westminster. We're talking about tearing down Winn-Dixie, whole project.
correct.
Putting another 400 units there. And then now I heard the rumor that there's possibility another 400 units are going to be put on Cox Road in 524.
There is area there for construction. Yes, sir. That's
1,200 units.
yes, sir. And we will address that 1,200 people in pertaining to runoff drain. I'm not scared to address it because I'm here. I'm ready to, tackle this and take this on.
That's
Just
a lot of asphalt, a lot of roofing to be having runoffs.
Sir, yes, sir. And we, like you said, we're gonna have to enhance Lake Diane or Mud Lake. I'm a true Cocoan. I graduated from Coca High School, so I know where Mud Lake is at. Okay, any other questions? Shall I sit, greetings, shall I sit down or do you want to talk?
You're gonna get a taste.
Okay, give it to me.
Hi, everyone. My name is Gina Bennett. I just moved to 1348 Fairhead in January. I bought the house because of the pond behind the house. Loved it. I enjoy all the birds. I see the turtles. I see the fish. I see everything. I see this 100% covering the pond since May. I emailed the city and talked to an Abigail. She said that the city finally had a contract to treat the water, but had no access to the pond. I contacted her, she could have used me as a contact to get to the pond. Then she said that she contacted somebody, but she had to get permission to get access to the pond. Here it is, July. Now she's telling me they finally got access to the pond, but it's not even gonna get treated until September. I'm sorry, I'm living, I'm a nature lover. I moved down here because I love nature and I love water, and this makes me angry beyond whatever. Because no bird, no nothing can access the water because it's 100% full, coming up onto the ground. It's so bad. I'm actually fishing it out of the pond so the birds can get to the water.
Okay. Mr. Smith, Brian Smith, that will be in your department. Are we correct, sir?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Smith. Ma'am, what is your name, please, Callie?
Gina?
Okay, Gina?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Gina. Now, here it is, ma'am. Pay close attention if I may. Por favor. Okay, Mr. Smith, the floor is yours.
I'll follow up with Abby, and I'm sure she has her contacts, so we'll follow up. If we can add a treatment time within our schedule, then we'll do that.
Why wasn't it treated before? Why did it take me, and now it's gonna be 3 months later from the time I contacted her, just to get it treated?
Because we go into the pond and they wouldn't do it for the longest time.
Yes, those ponds previously were never maintained.
We've tried. We've done it 5 times.
Yeah.
Actually, we did a roll with Mr. Arpon. We actually treated Coca at that time said no. Now, recently they came back over and they said they have the right now to go around because we're going to wait central. We've done it for years and it's terrible.
You're worried about the way it looks. It gets a lot of harm.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
I've gone around myself, collected money, and had people come out.
I didn't have pictures.
Yeah,
Gone out there and pulled it in myself.
Okay, so you got the information?
Okay, we got your information right, Ms. Gina, ma'am? Yes, please? Yes, ma'am. Thank you, kindly. Who else? Who's next?
Right over here. I
Go ahead,
am.
ma'am.
My name is Tamara Boyd. I am the president of the HOA over My name is Tamara Boyd. I don't even need this. I'm Tamara Boyd. I am the president of the HOA for a new development that we just finished closing on, got turned over to in March, Summer Breeze, over on the backside of Canaveral Groves, little lost paradise over there that nobody knows about. And we have several issues that we would like to address. One is we have Bright Line Train in front of us, which we have a berm that stands about 2 feet taller than the faux wall or whatever they got going up. So, and that's our property, that's community property. So if somebody walks along that berm, they just step over and be in front of a train if they really chose to. So there's no protection for anything either way. I have made numerous phone calls and hours trying to get anything accomplished, and everybody says, oh, they did that for us, or no, I did that. No, they had. So nobody was taking responsibility for who built this berm. I even tried to look for permits. So we have this going up, and all we want is privacy and security and the noise reduction. And yes, we know we bought there. We absolutely know 100% that we bought there, and that's where it's going. But the problem is half of the community was not aware that the train was going in, and the other half was when we bought. So there was many disclosures that we didn't get. Then all of a sudden, that's question one. So what are they going to do for us? Because they told me a wall was going to be $30 million a mile. We're a mile. Give me a wall. Don't care. They should have done it. I asked if they did any surveys prior, and they said they did a survey in 2006. And because that survey was done for the noise, and there was no permit on file within so many months or whatever timeline they gave me, that they didn't have to address that for us, which is a lie, because in 2001, the HOA was actually incorporated for Summer Breeze in 2001. So that goes back 20 years that they knew that was going to be built. Then I go to, we only have 2 lines. We're a cul-de-sac on both sides, and that's it. 33 houses and 7 empty lots. Behind us now is this really nice water drainage, you know, and we have hundreds of turtles. They come through the yard every morning, come back at night. We have hundreds of birds, we have everything. Well, they've been surveying that. Come to find out, there's this, oh, we're gonna put a road there, and we're gonna put a walkway there, and we're gonna, I did not buy a house to be squished between a train and a road. So there's 33 of us, and that's all there is right now. But we don't want whatever they're doing. We've never been notified, we've never been called. The people who are on the opposite side have never been called, have never been notified. We have one person that told us they were ever notified about this road possibly coming in. So why put something new and spend all that money, because it's always about the money, to make a culvert, a drainage, a road, a walkway, the sod, take down the berm that's existing, if you could use one road or 3 roads up to actually just continue the road down to Grissom, to let Amazon have their wish and that new development of a couple hundred houses that are going in over there, past Camp Road. 345 houses off of past Camp Road. So no, I am literally in city limits. The county, yeah, we're across, so when you come into Canaveral Groves, everybody is the county until you cross over that water past Angelica, and then poof, you're in our development, and we are the city of Coca.
Your development is which one, ma'am?
Summer Breeze.
Summer Breeze, okay, I know exactly.
Yeah, well, good luck finding it, because they never gave us a street sign either.
I've been there, man, because, school teacher.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, several of my cohorts that I worked with live on the county portion. The county is supposed to have that street go through there, which we do not know yet on how they're gonna, hear me out please, how they're gonna design that road that will impact the individuals there. Absolutely, the Whites took me there because on the Breeze Swept, on its north side, there's like, if you stand there and if you look east and west, if I'm not mistaken, you can see like there was a ditch there once before. There's a ditch behind the various individuals'
That's us.
home. Yes, ma'am, I know
It's not
exactly
ditch,
where we
it's
at.
a huge, it's from here to the doors. It's gigantic. It's runoff. But anyway, that we would like to know and have updates or whatever they're going to do.
The county would have to determine that, ma'am, because that's their road. It's a county road.
We were told, excuse me, sir, I'm sorry, but we were told, once we got to the stop sign, that's where. At Angelica. Yeah, at Angelica. Once you got to the stop sign, that's where the county line was. And on Angelica, anything to this side of the stop sign where we're at was Coca, which means those houses on Angelica are also Cocoa city limits. So we're talking about putting the road in Cocoa city limits. Not the county.
We have pictures, whatever they had. But anyway, that's two.
Miss, you want to answer me?
I just want to finish one more question, then you can finish them off. Storm drains, who's responsible after the builder's done and gone and turns it over? Who's responsible for the drainage under the road?
So Summer Breeze is a private neighborhood.
Yes.
So it's within the city of Cocoa zoning, but the city of Cocoa performs no maintenance or anything within that subdivision. Everything north of that entry is county. So that ditch is county, Angelica's county. And so they determine where that road's gonna go that comes out to Grissom.
So all our storm drains in the actual road is city or county or personally owned? The water drains on the road themselves.
Within the Summer Breeze development, those are owned and maintained by the HOA. Just like the road.
I don't like our guy. Not you guys. We just keep getting told every time I call, we're not responsible for that. I literally have everything in documents that the developer said it's the builder said it's developer, the developer said it's the city has told me it's the county.
Well,
you know what?
if we're in the city, in your city, which we are, why were we not notified that they were gonna put a road in if it's been on the books for how many years now?
I don't know.
I'm not aware of this.
I was told it was on the books since 2006.
They've had preliminary plans of where it may be. There was an agreement on the property we sold that said it was going to be in one of two areas, I believe either the drainage ditch or Angelica. And the county ultimately decides whether it's gonna go through that neighborhood on the residential road, or if they were to pipe or build a road alongside the ditch.
And we were also told that Brightline was building the road as part of the deal they made to make the train.
They would have to build the road as part of the residential development.
So the ones who can't build a berm, they're gonna build a road. The berm's like 8 foot tall. That's not a berm.
You guys have no say-so whatsoever in this.
No, mister, I'm fighting, trust me.
Yeah.
Okay, don't get me wrong. Cause I know I'm fighting, cause I took my fat heavy butt out there and talked about it. That's the reason why I'm so sincere about it, sir. I know exactly where it's at. And then I know they removed some of the tourists around from that area because of Amazon coming in, the impact that they were having as well. So it's not like it's falling on deaf ears. To me, the people we need to be fighting, and there's power in numbers, is the county. We need to call Pritchard and Councilman Lober. Commissioner Lober, excuse me. Commissioner Lober and Commissioner Pritchard. Is that right? That's the lady. Those are the people that we need to fight for. Those are the people that we need to find out. Because those two individuals have a vote on the road that we're elaborating about right now.
Yes. And that's part of the whole Brightline.
Don't trust me, yes. I don't want you to have a happy life. I want to protect that cultural way of life that you are living. That's all I'm saying.
And the county also for the train part, with putting a berm and all that, who's responsible for
That
that?
I'm not sure, ma'am. I can do research, and that's why we have them here. We can do our due diligence. And I will assure you of that. And I'll give you my card.
Okay, thank
That's all
you.
I'm saying.
Richard and who?
That's Commissioner Pritchard, Rita Pritchard, Commissioner 1, and then Commissioner 2, District Ryan.
Okay,
Thank you.
So I'm going to address yours part in regards to the berm and the HOA. I have access to those agreements, so I'm going to give you my card. You'll send me your information, and I will provide you with the development agreements and all of the details related to why the private subdivision is responsibility of the HOA, like Bryant had said. Those parts, because of the way it was situated in the development agreement, is part of the HOA's responsibility. So I can send you that information. That'll help you with your case. And I also can research the berm part as to why the berm was put in. So I do have some information.
At the request of the original homeowners before the rest of it, I only closed in January. People prior to me literally went to bat and got this berm put up. And I was like, okay, well, it's unworthy because it's not tall enough to do anything. It just kind of gave a barrier for seeing the traffic go by. I even went as far as calling the Turnpike Authority, and the Turnpike Authority said it is not their responsibility because they're not changing it to a 3-lane highway. If they were changing it to a 3-lane highway, then the Turnpike Authority would have. I mean, I went from division this to this, and I went to every single person, and I did a good chain of command. I did everything, only to turn around and go, well, you need to walk $30 million. We won't do that. It's not in the budget.
We'll get that. We'll
So,
get you that information.
all right, thank you.
I'm Ed Schaefer, and I'm speaking for Los Angeles. So, we have several questions. I'm going to answer a lot of them about 524. There are questions about having some creek development, which I will get to that after I ask you these questions about the road. What are the proposed plans for getting in and out of Los Angeles? We have a real traffic jam.
When DOT at their meeting in the Civic Center, it was stormy rainy, not very many individuals showed up. I was there along with the assistant city manager who was no longer with us. And so I kind of got all the people from DOT who were talking, and one of the things I addressed was Friday Road in Lost Lake, even though it's real close together, we're going to need to put a stoplight there because it's very dangerous. Also, I addressed a stoplight at Westminster for a couple of reasons. First one is we're going to have a splash pad in Junior Park. There's going to be a parking complex right across the street. It's going to have about 100 to 150 kids. And you don't have a school, you're going to run across that road. And it's 80% plus capacity right now. And they were talking turnstiles and circles, and I said, no, we don't want that. They had a very simple, beautiful plan. This is what we want. One, it's gonna be less for the taxpayers to pay, but also it looks nice, it's functional. And they were gonna talk about even a Friday Road in 95, doing a crazy 95 that did down there, so don't do that. But that's ridiculous. They just need to do it simple, 4-lane it to 520 and go around and hit her like it's supposed to. That's what needs to be done. And they had that drawing in there, so this is the one you need to do. And I've been emailing them back and forth. They're gonna have another meeting in the future, the date, I need to get everybody out there to give their opinion, what they want. Like I say, it was stormy, raining, and there's only 2 people from the city of Cocoa there. There was 2 people from my neighborhood, actually College Green, and that was it. There was nobody in there, and there was 14 DOT people, one at each station so you could talk to them. And I felt embarrassed because nobody showed up.
When was this meeting?
This meeting was in, I believe it was in May.
Because usually people that showed up for the other 2 meetings, they usually send you a notification.
They said they sent everybody, in my backpack, I got mine first, my phone was in my mailbox, to the mail. It was a flyer. And, by the time I got the flyer, I couldn't get the signs out in time. Next time, hopefully I will get the signs out to get more people involved.
Okay, so that is being looked at. Here's another thing. Friday Road runs into Lost Lakes. Big trucks turn into our community and cannot turn around. Because they think that is Friday Road. Are they watching GPS? I have no clue. But we need a sign that it's no through there, it is not Friday Road. Because we're turning big trucks out of here.
We don't want somebody coming in, where the garbage making a U-turn, and it's like, no, where are you going?
Yeah, we'll take a look at the issue, and if there's some signage we can install. I believe we actually own the right of way up to your gate, but there's an easement with you all to do
Right,
the maintenance.
and the truckers are not paying attention, that's not our fault.
You're correct. We'll look into that.
So I've got, what kind of study has been done on the way the lights operate on 524? If you're coming out of here, we stop at 4 different lights at different times of the day. Somebody sit there for 24 hours and watch what they do.
So all the traffic lights are programmed through Brevard County's traffic system. They control the timing and the phasing. Typically, your side streets, they don't get preference, especially on a larger road like 524. They are going through a process countywide. It's called an Intelligent Traffic System, where the lights will actually start talking to each other a little bit better and phasing better for traffic. That's a little bit down the road, though.
Well, I almost got hit coming off of 95 going to turn on. We have a traffic light, and we sat there for several minutes to turn green so we can cross. I pulled out, and a truck come flying through on a red light. I stopped, I didn't get hit, but that's a dangerous I have some plans here that a member of our community drew up to change the ramps off of 95 of Friday Road and going up to 95 to stop this congestion that happens right at that light. Now, the other thing I have, this is doing with what is being done about the Addison Creek development at Lake 5, and 5D drain. This has been something that the Rinos have worked on for months, and we get nowhere. I've sent pictures about the drain being 6 inches to 12 inches above where the water runs. There's no water getting there till it's already flooded out of the neighborhood. So,
yeah.
And Joyce, if you want more information on it, Joyce is here to give it.
Yes, we did a pretty thorough review of that. Our stormwater engineer took a look at it. We're going to be working with the developer and their engineer to try to make some corrections that are needed through there. That area is a wetland, so it does need a whole a certain amount of water to meet the permit requirements, but when you have the rains, it should drain out to the Adamson wetland. So that's what we're gonna try to work on to help prevent it from being clogged.
Okay, when I called them, St. John's, they said, well, maybe the drains need to be cleaned out. And then we hear that the drains have all been cleaned out. I don't think this 5D drain has ever been addressed.
And we'll look into that with our review with their engineer as well and try to get some guarantees for them on it.
They've been looking at that for a long time and nobody's looked at anything. Ms. Moreno's been doing this for years and they haven't done anything.
Yeah, we were out there yesterday, I believe, and have a pretty good report to provide them with some pretty good documentation now. So I think we'll be able to make a little bit of headway with them.
What's the report being said?
It's just talking about general maintenance that they need to do. One of the issues, it seems like, is the drain's getting clogged because it's in a wooded area. So there's some screening that you can do around those types of inlets. There's different types of notches you can cut to help prevent small leaves from blocking it and just allow pass through. So we're going to look at that with their engineer and see if they have any other items.
So the government is going to take care of that?
Yes, they will. Yes.
Next question I have is for the fire department. I have problems with getting people to put their house numbers on their house. And I say it is a county ordinance, and they say because it's on their light pole or on their driveway, they don't need them on their house. Will you please address that to those of us?
So the question is where the numbers are displayed?
No, it's, why do they have to put them on their house? And because we have the poles out front, if the electricity goes off, the light doesn't shine. If it's on the driveway, the fire department is looking for numbers. Any emergency vehicle is looking for numbers on the house. People refuse to put their numbers on the house.
To enforce it.
Is it a county ordinance that it has to be on the house?
Yes,
So yes, the numbers should be displayed on the house at a minimum. So your question is that for the ones that don't display them on the house, what to do about that?
I have made the comment that if they don't have the numbers on their house and they have an emergency, they cannot come and blame anyone but themselves if they cannot be found. Is that simple enough?
That's a true statement. So, best answer I can give you at this point is, I can talk to our fire inspector about it.
Okay.
The problem is we're really limited on enforcement on private property.
And I'm sure, but I got it from you, so at this meeting, that's what I need. Thank you.
I was supposed to put my numbers on my address, man, be 100% correct. And they didn't exempt me. So I'm sure somewhere along the code, see it within our city, ma'am, and they will find that infraction and address it.
I have pamphlets.
Yes, ma'am.
That I gave to everybody who didn't have house numbers, and some of them were so kind to bring them back to me. So, and still didn't want house numbers. So I have gone.
Yeah, you done your part, man.
I actually don't have a question. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Patrick Wells, and I'm running for Congress for this district. I know I'm not district part. Apologize. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm running to represent all of you in Congress next year. I hope you vote for me. Thanks. Right on the county line, and the city says the county's supposed to take care of it, the county says the city's supposed to take care of it. And that's always been the issue, it's right on the county line at the back of the building.
What street is that, sir?
It's down West Michigan.
Okay.
Separated,
James?
of course, before you go down the Westminster and see Coca going to the county right before Coca North Road, it goes to the subdivision, there's a ditch that runs back and forth between there.
Yeah, there's a couple ditches there that we share responsibility, so I'll find the limits of that, and then I can get with you after this and get your information.
It's grown up pretty bad. So.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions?
I live on Westminster Drive here in Cocoa, and my question is, with the new apartment complex going in on 524, what's that going to do to our sewer systems and our water lines? Being that it's an older development, is that going to tax them and overload them? Are we going to expect issues?
Good question.
Hi, that subdivision has already gone through the planning process, so I get to look at those engineering drawings, and to address those problems and issues, they have been approved. So it's not taxing our system. There's really double the capacity existing in our current wastewater plant. We're flowing about 2 MGD, and our capacity is about 1.5, so we don't have a capacity issue. The engineering design stuff that the flow can get there, so it has the responsibility of the developer to do that. Is that a good one?
But are you saying the new subdivision, all those new pipes are going in there, and us in Cocoa North on the north side of 524, is that going to tax our system? Because our home is 30 years old.
Right.
And it's like, we see all these nice new pipes and everything, but we don't see any changes where we live on Westminster.
Is there a question there?
Yeah, I'm following up to hers because I don't think you answered hers correctly when you said, is that going to tax, when she asked, is that going to tax the sewer lines and the water lines for the people across from that subdivision that's going in there? Is that going to affect us?
Across the subdivision, meaning on the north side of 524?
Where the new apartment is coming in on 524. Okay? You come down to Westminster, you turn left on Westminster, or you turn right on Westminster. Is that going to affect our water and sewer up in that area because this new subdivision is coming in?
That's only 400 apartment buildings. There's another 800 apartment.
Anybody else have any questions?
Are there any more questions?
Okay.
Good question. Excellent question.
So we got one more question. Right in the back.
First, you notice everything's on stormwater drain.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Coca, and I'm just as concerned as everybody else is here about flooding. Our area is classified as a non-flood zone area, but we have flood insurance, and we've sat here for years, every time hurricane season comes around, and watched our home almost flood. If it wasn't for having the flood insurance, then I don't know what we would do, but the problem consists, we've seen Coventry flood, we've seen Coca North flood, we've seen everything from Westminster all the way over to Cox Road flood during some of these hurricane seasons. And the development across the street is a huge concern. The ditch that my husband mentioned behind us, nobody seems to have done anything with it for years. And it is co-owned by the residents of the city of Cocoa and the county. But nobody's doing anything to address these concerns. And it will flood out here. That development across the street, it will cause all of this area here in the Cocoa North area, from Cox Road all the way down to Coventry, it will cause it to flood again.
One of the things on Westminster, I had to talk to the public works director, is that speed hump right in front of Walton's house. You've all seen, I got pictures of it, how the water backs up because the sewer's back up back there, and it tries to go forward. And if that speed hump wasn't there, the water level would be about 6 inches lower, which would help us. Because I live on Parapet, I got pictures where it's coming up my driveway, and I got the highest house on Parapet between the two roads, Westminster and Archer. And
You see it there all the time, and I actually rescued my friend in Coventry. He had the third house down in the clubhouse, and we had a friend called me up and said, "Hey, you bring your shop back, I got a little water coming in." I was driving on the sidewalk, and I had water in my F-154 truck coming to the floor. And I told him, cut the breaker off, get your boys, let's go. So I understand the flooding, because I've been involved in it. Every time we get a lot of rain, Parapet, Westminster, all back in that entire area, Archer, floods. And the easy, we do have the highest that we have to worry about. Those ponds have never been drag line, and it's kind of difficult to figure out what it is. There's no homeowner association involved in it. There's, here, we did this, now you take care of it.
See, my husband, he takes out his pocket, he goes back there himself and tries to keep that pond clean. He can't be back there every day. We've gone around and talked to all homeowners and collected money from homeowners to try to keep that pond clean. And now it's like almost a yearly thing. And we're frustrated. We know that's going to be an issue. If we've got a hurricane down a bunch of water here, everybody's houses are going to flood back there.
I was, not too long ago, I was at Randy Rouse's backyard, Scott, the county police officer, and I saw that because, how come you haven't told me this was like this? Because it's bad. And when I was out the house, I was stepping in it and almost held my weight. That's how thick it is in there.
It's bad. We try to do it ourselves. It's too much. We need help.
Mr. Coward?
I probably on the top straight, and all the area y'all was talking about, was really moving much weight. Mayor, don't play with it, been out there anytime, okay? Everything comes to go, goes down the top straight. Top straight doesn't flood. Goes down Cox Street, right in front of the building on East Road, runs down the Center Road, it runs back in our neighborhood, down Staff, off Range Road, and all that stuff, for this neighborhood. The main issue, there's two issues. One, in the lake area, we're just gonna go in that area that fills up. We're talking about 18 inches, we're talking about 18 inches of rain earlier. Yeah, we're not designed for that. Most subdivisions are designed to handle 2 inches of rainwater, the first 2 inches, and then start draining out. Okay, so that's where your problem is, not just that. You gotta worry about one lake area, and Cox Run still hasn't flooded. There's got local culverts that are in there, and that's not the city, the county, and they're not replacing culverts, not correcting culverts. We still have areas that flood, like in Trevor Park, and down Fenner Road, and some of that. It comes across them, and it goes east again, and it goes down around it, and those other subdivisions that don't do anything, or the storm drain areas that don't do anything. So it's not just getting it off the old area, which is a big problem, I understand that. You gotta make it work on the other end too, we're just making it backing up. So the more backs up there, the more backs up on y'all, we all just have to be started. Not the same as how it's designed. So we need to work with the city, we need to work with the county, try to get Cox Road up a little more, get out to the lakes and get it away from us. And that's where the mayor work with it, and so you need to work in that area. Not just, you got to look where it's going, why it's backing up, and that's why it's backing up. Just Cox Road backs up, when they flow out and get in that area. So that helps you out, that's kind of give you where it's going, push it that way, it's not moving there. So you can keep trying, but you can't push it this far forward.
I have one more question. In regards to the city of Cocoa, the police department and fire department, because we are in Cocoa and there's only 33 of us, and anybody on the other side is the county. They told us the county won't come and take care of us for unless it's an absolute emergency and you guys can't get there for anything. Is there any kind of agreement in place to be taken care of by the county as well?
I can tell you that that's absolutely false, that they will not come and take care of you. We do have an agreement with the county, because the only way for us to get to you is up Grissom and down, Shepherd. So Station 29 for Brevard County is at the entrance.
On 524, there's one, on Grissom, Grissom.
So that's Station 29. So, right now, we are going through a process of renewing that agreement. But since that road was put in, there has been an agreement that that station will respond to you and take care of you. And just as soon, and it'll probably be signed within the next week, we do have an automatic aid agreement with Brevard County Fire that station will take care of your neighborhood.
And it automatically happens when you dial 911? Okay.
Okay, I've got a question for the police chief then.
Yeah, the same.
How you doing? It took 42 minutes to get response back to my house when I called 911. Like 911 answered, it was the county said, we don't take care of you. Put me over to 911 over in the city of Coca, and it took 42 minutes for your police officers to make it around and coming up to my house. Call 911. Do you have an agreement with the county?
I don't even need this. That's a good question. I have a disclaimer. So I've been here about 4 or 5 months.
Yep.
So I need to find that out to see what type of agreement we have. But if we, when we get a call, the officer going to go to the call as soon as they can. So it depends on what type of call they had and how much of a priority it was, because they can hold the call for so long if there's more emergency type calls going on. So that could be the reason why it took 42 minutes.
Well, they left wherever they were at immediately and were coming. It just took that long to get there.
It's all the speed bumps we have on Allen Chapter.
So what you got? I look at that. When I want to get your address, so I can look at that. Sure. And I get more feedback about it. But it shouldn't take that long. I can go get Jackson for 42 minutes.
Yes, you can. Do you still have the agreement with Station 44 for Coca North? Now that you got the station on 524?
So our auto aid agreement does include Station 44, yes, sir.
Even though you just got the station out on 524?
Yes, sir.
He works there.
Very good.
Quick question.
Just remember where I live.
Right now, where you stop in
Right line, top of the cut. Would like to have this with there?
Oh, absolutely, man. I don't need my. We're competing against Melbourne, Florida. We want the stop to be here in Cocoa. Absolutely, ma'am. Unequivocally, but vehemently, yes, ma'am, to the fullest of all degrees. We want it here because this area, the north area, if it's here in the north area on that curve when it goes behind Walmart, they own property there. Brightline owns property. Am I right, Mrs. Newman? Am I in the close ballpark figure? The other location is downtown Cocoa, where Rosa L. Jones, they have the mutual understanding with Cocoa Rockledge area. So we're competing against our enemy down south. I care not to call the name because I don't want them to get any glory. And if you know anything about this old man from Independence, Missouri, Harry S. Truman, the buck stops here. So we want it right here. So give yourself a round of applause. Yes, ma'am. Am I on it, ma'am? Okay. If my supervisor right here, Mrs. Charlene Newman, says it's okay, then it's okay. Yes, ma'am.
Are there any more? Well, I'd like to go ahead and thank Lost Lakes in the clubhouse. Chief Coca, sir.
I just want to kind of give y'all a brief update as far as what we're doing with the police department since I've been here, so that you know know exactly what we're doing. So if you're affected directly, or indirectly, you know you can't say we didn't tell you. Okay. I don't need a microphone, but I guess you want to.
These people want to hear you.
Yeah, that's fine. But I just want to kind of give you an update. So I've been here about 4 months, 4.5 months, and I can tell you the community, you guys, and ladies, and I say guys, I include the ladies as well. I say the ladies and gentlemen have welcomed me very well. I really appreciate that. I really do. Because, you know, anytime you have somebody permeating outside, it's different. A lot of people, you know, wonder exactly what is he going to do. You know, did he just really get lip service when he was applying for the position and just throwing dots out there and see what was going to land and hit? Well, I'll tell you, no, I'm not. Everything I said I was going to do, I'm doing. Plus more. Is that making people in the community uncomfortable? Maybe a few. Is it making a lot of police officers in the police department uncomfortable? Yes.
But one thing I promise you, my police department, is that I'm putting the community first. Everything we do is going to be related to the community. And when you do that, it's a shift for how we think as police officers. So, you get officers that say, well, oh, so you're more concerned about the community than the police. Yes. Yes, I am. And everything we do has to be about the community. So, but we're making some good strides, we're making some good changes. One of the goals I have is to be out in the community. That's why we're doing those walks. And I can promise you, we'll get to your neighborhood at some point while I'm here. We've also, I can tell you, if you look at before I got here, we've had several traffic fatalities, traffic crashes. So everything we're doing is data driven. So we have a crime analysis unit that's giving me the data, let me know where the crashes are occurring at, where we having all these fatalities, pedestrian deaths, and all that stuff. And so we look at that, and now then we start doing enforcement in those areas. Now, this is where you come into play. So if you drive in some of those areas where we're doing enforcement, you might get stopped. Okay? So you've been put on notice. You might get stopped. Now, we're not out here trying to see how many hand citations we can write. We're out here to educate the public. But when we're educating them, certain couple things also how they educate. They don't talk to you. They might give you a verbal warning. They might give you a written warning. Or they might just give you a citation. But I ask them to use discretion because we're not out here trying to see how many hand citations we can write. Okay? So I want to make you aware of that. Another thing that we're doing, some of the areas where we have some of the crime problems, when I look at our crime numbers, we've increased our efforts in those areas. If you look at what's been going on in Provost Park, you don't really see the crowd there like we used to, because we've been taking care of business over there. We're not trying to buy anybody right. We want the park back to the kids who it belongs to. So do we have a long way to go? Yes, we do. But I really appreciate y'all's support, and I'm as transparent as I can be. And I open the floor for a couple of questions that you may have, but I kind of want to introduce myself. And for those of you who have not had an opportunity to speak with me yet.
Do you have anything in the works for the panhandlers like they did down in Melbourne where they passed the, I want to say it's an ordinance or something? You get a $50 fine if you hand something to the panhandlers. I think it should be more like a $5,000 fine because $50 doesn't really deter a whole lot of people.
Yes, and I can tell you that is a challenge when it comes to panhandlers and our homeless population. It's happening all over the country, no matter what city you go in. You're going to have issues with the homeless, you're going to have issues with the panhandlers. So let's use an example that you record me, sir? I'm just kidding. I can hear it. But when you look at this, use the example, I'll use panhandlers as an example. Okay, so you have a panhandler, you're going to write them a ticket, a citation for $500. We use that number. What's going to happen?
They ain't gonna show up.
There you go. He used to be a police officer. They may not show up. If they go to jail, like we catch it for any type of warrants that they may have because they didn't pay the panhandler's citation, the judge is not going to keep them in jail.
3 square
They're
meters.
basically releasing you, they get free meals, the whole 9 yards. So it's a challenge. But what we do, we try to do our best to move them along and ask them to go in other places.
Yeah, where they are up
Out of the city of Coca.
520. Well, when they're
out of the city of Coca.
520 and Route 1, when they're going toward the water down toward the causeway, your median is this big, and they stand there and they're like, come on. You're not directing traffic, dude.
Yes, but we'll make sure we do a better job because I can tell you that is a problem.
I'm afraid somebody's going to get hurt. That's the biggest concern.
And also that ruined the police, fire department with their boots.
Say that again?
The fire department, when they collect money for the boot,
Yes.
they can't do it because they're panhandlers.
You heard that? Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Begging.
One area I have concern is 520 and US 1. They stand in the median. And I think somebody was killed there one time by standing there. A car lost control and hit them. And I think that's a very bad spot. Now, they want to beg for money, and what they're saying is the truth. I don't have a problem with it. Now, the lines, I do. But that is a concern. When they stand in the median of a busy roadway. If they're off the side of the road, that's one thing. But I think somebody was killed there in the past.
that intersection, it is really bad, I see that, and our officers have been doing enforcement in those areas, so we'll make sure we increase that, but you are absolutely right, it's very dangerous, and I've seen them myself, because I have an unmarked police car, so they don't see me, so when I roll up there, they're like, when I roll down the weather, walk away, so they're not too crazy. All right, last question, I'm gonna turn it over to the manager. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
The firemen and the intersection with boots, Chief Sam, would you like to tell the event you got coming up?
Yeah, Penny could have heard on our business, so we're moving on to something else. Now, 2021, 20 years ago this September, we had a taxi in New York, in Washington, D.C. So every year, we do a memorial spirit climb to remember the 343 firefighters that died when the World Trade Center came down. So on September 11th, Saturday, September 11th this year, at Coca High School Stadium at 4 o'clock, we will be having our memorial spirit climb. So if you would like to come out and participate, do what you can. The registration fee, we're trying to raise funds. Our goal is to reach $10,000 to support the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation, as well as provide some funds to Coca first. We'll be having our memorial spirit climb again Saturday, September 11th at 4 p.m. So hope to see some of you out there. Thank you.
Is there anything else? Well, I'd like to thank staff, I'd like to thank the council, fire chief, police chief, Mr. Newman, Brian, everybody that came out, city council. Thank you very much for coming out and giving us your input. We are listening and we are going to address these problems and get them solved. Because when it comes to flood, well, I flooded my house, so I know what the problem is. And I talked to Brian about that. I really like coming out here to this beautiful facility. It makes a lot more relaxing for everybody, and thanks for opening the gate. And I think Mr. Mayor wants to put the pancakes for you all.
He eats them all.
I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming out. This is a very successful town hall meeting, and you all have a nice evening and drive safe.